off. And it looks a pretty level break. Westerton towards the far side. Struth is going forward in yellow sleeves. Humanity to the far side. A little apart on the right is David Doyle as they race through the first quarter mile towards their only turn, a right-hander. And it's Struth that probably leads now. To Westerton, Humanity. Close up in the red cap is Satin as they run into this bend. And then back in the field to Have Secret. David Doyle is out wide. Shadow Dance, Pivotal Trigger. And Alsakib is the early back marker. So now heading on towards the Rolly Mile and approaching the final 9 furlongs. And Struth is allowed to stride on by William Buick. Goes 2.5 lengths clear of Laffy on the near side of Satin. They are second and third. In fourth, or disputing fourth, is Humanity in the claret jacket on the far side of Davideo. They're followed by Westerton, White Blaze towards the inside of the grey Shadow Dance, Have Secret further back, and then Alsakib and Pivotal Trigger. Struth continues to freewheel along inside the 7. 2.5 lengths still to Laffy in second, just ahead of Satin. Then Humanity under a little bit of a drive. Davideo, they're followed then by Westerton and Shadow Dance. Further back, Pivotal Trigger, Have Secret, and Alsakib is ridden quietly towards the rear of the field on the right of your pictures in the hands of James Doyle. Struth setting the target as they continue down more or less the centre to far side and on towards the final half mile. Struth spearheading the field from Satin and Laffy. On the right, Alsakib is beginning to make ground, but just nudged along now. Tracing the leaders, Humanity on the far side. They're followed by Westerton, Davido, Shadow Dance going better than many. Pivotal Trigger under pressure, Have Secret next. So Struth leads, Shadow Dance coming with a very promising run, Laffy between them. On the left is Satin. Behind these, Alsakib is still staying on, albeit under pressure as Shadow Dance probably goes on into the lead here in the hands of David Egan. But Alsakib is quick to challenge now, and they're kicking on from Satin on the far side and Struth. It's Shadow Dance and Alsakib looking to fight this one out. Satin trying hard to get on terms on the far side as they race up towards the line. On the far side is Shadow Dance. On the near side, Alsakib. Alsakib has a very determined attitude, and it's Alsakib just beginning to get up. Alsakib defies the £9 rise for Ascot. Shadow Dance second.
Alsakib takes the old Rolly Cup, 100 to 30 favourite for James Doyle, Andrew Balding and Alwas Maya Stud. Second, Shadow Dance, 6 to 1. Third, Satin, 10 to 1, with the front pair 4 lengths clear of the third. And Alsakib, what versatility he's shown this season. He won over a mile as a novice, and a good novice at that, and only back in July at Windsor this year. He's winning over 1.5 miles for the second time on the bounce, having won at Ascot last time, on varying ground conditions, much softer conditions, but they didn't necessarily look like there might be a problem over this trip, given how he'd run at Goodwood in a good handicap at the Qatar Goodwood Festival. He's a fast improving horse. He'll have his pick of lofty ambitions next season. He's won the sub 96, and he fancy group company awaits.
Well, here's James Doyle after that very impressive performance from Alsakib. James, I have to say, I think it looked like a really good race beforehand, and looking at what the first 2 horses have done, it looks like that's confirmation. How did it feel to you?
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree. I think it was obviously a smaller field than it can tend to be. Obviously a good prize on offer, but I think, yeah, certainly the front 2 horses. I rode the second horse at Haydock last time, so I quite liked him. Knew he'd definitely cope with the ground, and he stays well. So it's actually nice for my wide draw. Probably would have liked to have been a bit handier, but I ended up using David Egan as a bit of a target, and it worked out well. But like you say, 2 progressive horses. My fella's won off the mid-90s there, and he feels like he's got a bit more to come. He seems versatile ground-wise. I'm not sure this is his preferred surface, but he's very willing at the business end.
David Egan was obviously travelling really strongly on Shadow Dance, and I could see that you were just asking your horse to get into a little bit more of a rhythm, but it was relentless, and it looked, I mean, again, you can explain more. It looks like he's able to sustain a good, strong finish for quite a long period of time. Yeah, exactly. He has got a big engine at the business end of a race, like you say. He kind of builds in. He's kind of won his races before, creeping there and then quickening away. But as we know, Newmarket's a slightly trickier track
in that, especially when you're at the rear of the field and they're not going a great pace. I just chose that opportunity to slide into the race a bit sooner than you would do somewhere else. But he's just a really likeable horse. He does all the right things. He relaxes well, which is important when you're going over these distances, and versatile ground-wise. So there's not really much more you want from a horse, really.
I guess all in all, what I'm trying to get to after all these questions is, are we talking about potentially two, certainly one pattern horse here?
Yeah, it's certainly possible, isn't it? I guess at this stage, you know, he'll be up in the hundreds now after today, and he'll end up having to go there just by the way he's gently rose through the ranks. Obviously, Andrew's, you know, he's dealt with him very well and brought him through the ranks steadily. So that I'll be interested to see what way he goes with him. But I think that they've every right to be ambitious with him.
Well done.
Thank you.
Fascinating renewal of the bet.